Here we go. Aloha, aloha, sports fans. Welcome to another UH Football fan stream. I'm Wayne Coito, the founder of Hawaii Sports Fans, and today I wanted to bring you on for a special Around the Wayne. And before we get to that, I think you might have seen our title card as we welcomed you in. We talked about how this company. I've talked about my grandmother a lot, and the people that I brought on the show, friends, UH football fans. A lot of us have that same story. So this is something we're trying to do at Hawaii Sports Fans, is continue to engage our fan base, but create new fans and really memorialize and celebrate all the memories we had with our family, our friends, because that's what UH football is truly about. But with that being said, I got to bring in my group, my pals, and here they are. Starting at the top left, here's Garrett, and you got Stevie, you got Candy, you got Jean. Just want to make sure, can you all hear me at least?
Yep.
I can hear you fine.
All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to get into our little game of Around the Wayne. But before that, I want, like what I was talking about in the introduction, so important to talk about our family connections and our friend connections, because that always, even if the only person in your blood relatives that is a UH fan, you always have somebody there that brought you into the fan base or somebody that you're close to. And the four people around me are big UH fans, and I'm happy to call them friends as well. But I'm going to start with Garrett, and just introduce yourself, talk about UH football and your connection, and just why you're so excited for UH football. Just Garrett's one of the guys I see every year. I've always seen him, and it's a true diehard.
Yeah, so I guess UH sports in general has been part of our family. My grandfather was one of the original members of the Koa Nui Nui way
Wow.
back when, and so he used to take us to all the games when I was a small kid, and kind of grew up around UH sports, the basketball and football. And so from before hosting, he was original seats. We still have those seats, and we have more now. I like to be involved and help out as much as I can with the football team. So I'm actually on the board for Napoa, and so I try to help out as much as I can there. And unfortunately, we had the golf tournament supposed to be 2 weeks ago, and that was postponed. So I'm one of the co-chairs for that tournament. So hopefully we can get that going again sometime soon.
Definitely. Make sure you look out for that golf tournament whenever. I'm sure the golf course is let it go, let it rip. Another tournament. Make sure you get all the info. So Garrett, I'm sure, will be happy to share anything with you if you reach out to him. But we're gonna move on to Stevie now, because Stevie is coming to us from Eva Beach, Oahu. How's it going out there in Eva?
I'm calling you from the other side of the island. Yeah, Eva Beach.
How's it going? And how's our friends on Fort Weaver? It must be a lot less congested these days, I'd imagine, right?
Yeah, it's been good. I don't know. I don't know. I've been indoors about
Oh, good job.
95% of the time.
Good. And this is another reason with all of us indoors, this is a good chance for us, a good time for us to continue to stay connected, because like we said, people in Hawaii, we're always outside. We want to be in the stands. We want to be cheering on our team, and that's something we're going to talk about as well. But Stevie, another longtime UH fan, she sits in the south end zone, close to me as well. So if you see her and her husband Joel, definitely say aloha. Great people. But we're going to move down. We're going to move down to Jean, who's coming for us from downtown. So Jean, what's up, Jean?
Aloha from downtown Honolulu, Hawaii.
Jean?
So, go ahead, man.
Oh, no. I was going to say, we got the Eva report. We need our downtown. What's it looking like down there?
It's a ghost town, man. It's a ghost town, but I noticed that there's more people coming to work, over the last week, which is a good sign.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really good sign. So, yeah. But it's been a ghost town, man. So I think we'll get on our feet pretty soon, though.
Yes, we're excited for that. And Candy, you're coming to us even further, the farthest away. You're in California, NorCal, reppin'. Talk about it. What's going on out there?
Just hanging out in Santa Clara County. Been home since March 12th. I can't even count the days anymore. Every day is just some day. Someday getting closer to Hawaii football season, I hope.
Oh, we hope, yes. Well, I mean,
Yes.
I've been in the same state as you, and it's keeping track. It's day 46, I believe, since I've been in lockdown. But you know, it's life right now. So we can have fun though. We can still talk about UH football, something we love, and we can engage
Yeah.
ourselves as fans and get excited for that season whenever it's gonna come, and that's gonna be the first question we talk about, and the college football season. I mean, what's going to happen? Garrett, we're going to start with you. Are we going to have the season? Are we going to cancel it? Are we going to push it? You're going to get some points, so now the points come. Points don't mean anything. They're just for fun. But when you say some cool stuff, I'm definitely going to give you some points. So we'll start with Garrett. Let's go. How's it going?
I'm thinking, I guess for the college sports, they'll probably just keep in line with what the professional leagues do, the Major League Baseball, NFL. I have a feeling um, college sports cannot play games without the fans.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the revenue there comes from fan tickets,
Mm-hmm.
unlike
Mm-hmm.
the NFL professional league. So I'm my guess is, unfortunately, the football season will be pushed back till after the new year, maybe into the spring.
So when do you see? So you think it'll still happen this year? You see football as happening for sure in this academic year, but just
I
possibly
think,
spring.
yeah, football is the driver for all the different sports,
Mm-hmm.
for the athletic department, and they need football to support the other teams. So without football, there will be no other sports. So I think
Absolutely.
they have to do it somehow, and unfortunately, it'll affect the other spring sports,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
attendance-wise,
Mm-hmm.
scheduling, but it has to be done.
Stevie, what do you say, Stevie?
Well, I know for myself, I'm heartbroken that I don't think I don't think we're gonna have a football season. I was so looking forward
Mm-hmm.
to when, when we play against Arizona State, right? August
Arizona, yeah.
9th.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Arizona.
They're just going to open school though.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm,
So, you know, that's a big thing, right? We can't really have anything happen until we start seeing the other stages happen. But some governors, you know, in California, there's a 4-stage plan that's been already, the governor has proposed. So we see the stages, but live sports is not until that last stage or being there. So that could push us, like you said, to not even being able to have it this year. But Gene, what are you saying, Gene?
Well, I want to go first, and then it's time for answer. I get points now, Wayne. Come on, man. Well, you know what? I was talking to Uncle Donald. Okay, and Uncle Donald
Okay, there you go.
Guarantee we're gonna have sports. Guarantee we're gonna have sports. But I think all just being all kidding aside,
Mm-hmm.
I think science is gonna dictate whether we have another season. And at this point in time, it's a toss-up. I really think it's a toss-up. I think that if the curve keeps on flattening, or
Mhm.
if they find some type of way to test people,
Mm-hmm.
where to really,
Exactly.
help mitigate some of the spread of this thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have an opinion on that, because so many things has to
Exactly.
happen. And obviously, I would like for it to start on time. And obviously, I was planning on going to that game.
Yeah.
I mean, if it doesn't, it doesn't.
Mhm.
I get it. I think that if they cannot start in time,
Mm-hmm.
that they should keep the schedule intact and
Okay.
just push it back
Okay.
a little bit.
Okay.
To maybe playing
Sounds good.
sometime later year. I think with Brother Garrett over there, you can't cancel it. There's just too much. There's too much money on the line.
Yeah. Exactly.
And not only money, but we're talking scholarships for non-revenue sports.
Exactly. And that's the thing too. It's
I
like
mean,
if we have football, can you even fit it in the spring with how do you squeeze it in? How do you get all the staffing you need? I mean, there's a reason we spread all the sports out throughout the year as well, just because, school has to, the sponsoring school has to
what are
staff
you gonna
it.
do if the football team is playing the same time as the men's volleyball team?
Yeah. Exactly.
You know, where the cheerleaders going to go, where the band going to go.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's problems with that. There's a lot of logistics, but I think they're smart enough to figure it out, and
Yeah.
just to say that, you know, I don't think anyone wants to scrap the whole season because there's just too much things on the line.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
too many things on the line.
All right. Well, Candy, what do you say, Candy? You in California got a little different perspective about
I
what's
do.
going on, but what will you have to say?
Well, California, thankfully, is one of those states that is kind of following the science before they start sending people back to work and sending people into hospitals and sports arenas and those things. Unfortunately, like Wayne said, stage 4, which is almost the last stage, is going to put sports somewhere around November, is what I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to speak it into existence, that positivity. We are going to have football season.
I like it. I like it. I
We
like
want
it.
We
Better
want
late
it.
than never.
We miss
Better
it.
late than
We miss
never.
the family community we have at football season. We miss traveling. I mean, I miss getting on a plane every weekend. Doesn't everybody?
Yeah.
So I would love for sports to come back. You know, football is not the only sport that we're missing. Like, we're missing baseball right now. I'm watching my Giants tickets just kind of get postponed each game I've
Yeah.
already purchased.
Yeah.
So, I'm really, we've already kind of booked our hotels for football season, with Arizona being the first one. So I would at least like them to keep part of the season. I don't know that they'll be able to go into spring
Yeah.
semester.
So part of the
with,
season, possibly,
like,
then
football.
you could see like a truncated season, then basically.
Yeah.
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 I mean, that's another thing too that no one brought up. It's possible maybe just play a few games, just play the conference season. So if we could just maybe squeeze it into the fall, perhaps we just push it into the conference season, so we start in late October or something. So
Right.
definitely a possibility there as well. So definitely we're going to be talking about this every week, because like the rest of you, I'm just as anxious, but not too many answers yet. So we'll be waiting. So in the meantime, though, even if sports comes back, even if Aloha Stadium reopens, are we going to have people there? Because our attendance has declined every year for many years now, and there are many reasons for it. We talk about it all the time. We talk about even the importance of home attendance. So maybe the TV money is just more valuable. Maybe just having pay-per-view is just better, just to get the revenue that way. So we're not saying it's necessarily a bad thing, although I'd like to see a sellout every week. But for you, and we're going to start with Stevie. We're going to go that way. Talk about your top reason. Just give me your one reason. I don't want several reasons, just your number one reason, and sell me on that.
On pay-per-view?
No, on why
attending.
attendance has declined. Sorry, that's the question. So why? Give me your top reason.
Number one answer is it's got to be the admission prices.
Okay, prices. Okay, interesting. Okay. That's
So,
all you're gonna say. That's it. That's it. I'm giving you the floor.
I have two reasons.
No. I don't know. If your number one reason is admission prices, why admission? Because our tickets are not more expensive than anywhere else in the Mountain West. It's the same. So
Because families can't afford to bring the whole gang like they did. What, 10, 15 years, 20 years ago? Yeah, so that's what I think. Not only the high admission prices, snack bar is ridiculous, and they're pretty thorough as far as inspecting our bags.
Okay, so I gave Stevie one chance to give me one. She's giving me 2 and 3. So I'm gonna go on to Jean. So Jean, give me your number one. I want you to sell it. This is all for blood.
Can I rebut?
Prices.
You can rebut. You can do whatever you want. You're just trying to. You just gotta sell me on your
Okay,
reason.
I'm gonna rebut, and then I'm gonna give my main reason.
Okay.
So the price of a ticket on December 1st, 1990, when UH played BYU, the yellow section on the sideline, section JJ, was $14 a ticket. That's in 1990. Okay. Today, that same ticket is $27. Okay.
That's on the 50-yard
over
line. You're saying, right?
Years ago. That's 29 years. I don't know where JJ is. Somebody posted it on Facebook, and I says, you know what? I got to do more
That's
research.
50-yard line.
Yeah, that's about
Guy,
50-yard line, so
being,
that's pretty good seats,
being
though, being up there.
curious,
Yeah.
being
That's-
curious, and just being really bored out of my mind. I did the math, and it comes out to 3.2% increase per year.
Yeah.
3.2% increase per year. From go from $14 every year, average annual increase is 3%, only above inflation. Because
Well, that's good to know. I mean, that's
inflation 1.7. Okay.
solid analysis right here. Statistical
I
analysis.
I'm a fan of the man. I thrive on numbers. And
I love it. I'm all about it. I minored in math, so I'm all the way about it. Let's do it.
So I tell you what 3.2% as a as a benchmark for increases is that what you got to compare is, has the cost of doing business for the UH athletics department increased by greater than 3.2% or less than 3.2%? I would venture to think, and this is just an educated guess, that the cost of doing business for UH has gone, because now we're paying Fresno State to come over and play. We're paying them their flights and all. That's BS, man. They don't come over. They don't pay when we go there.
Yeah.
I don't understand. So I do know that the cost of doing business has gone up. So justifiably so, a 3.2% increase per year does not equate into something that's unaffordable. Okay, it's just the cost of doing business. I mean, how much did a bag of rice cost in 1990 compared to today? And what was the price increase of that? So I don't know. Sorry, Stevie, I love you, but I don't know if I agree with that. Because it is what it is. You know what I mean? And we have to raise prices as the cost of doing business goes up. If not, you're going to have to rely on funding from the government, which I don't know if that's going to happen, or from private donors, or by charging more to the students in an activity fee.
I think that's good. That's solid. That's solid, Gene. I'm going to have to cut you off because you are just laying down too many hot tracks right now, and I got to give some. So Gene brought up a lot of good points. I mean, inflation, obviously, just pure economics, the increase of pricing. Also, college football is different. The world of sports is different than it was back then. I mean, every year it becomes even more of a money monster, and the TV money is so incredible, especially the network TV money that the Power 5 conferences receive in their contracts. But, Candy, those things still... Oh, I'm sorry. I had the wrong one up there. But, those things still are important for to have in terms of tradition, in terms of what you would... expect in a power division, on a big Division I school, right? You can't deviate too far from what the rest of the world is doing. Even San Jose is spending a lot. We go to that game. I see you there every year. So you got to pay to get into that stadium, that small, tiny, old stadium. But what do you think is your number one reason that attendance has declined, you would say?
For me, I think it's the state of Aloha Stadium. There's really nothing for families to come out there and do other than the game. And if you've got college kids, like the student body doesn't come to the games.
Yeah.
I would love for them to come more to the games like it used to be.
Yeah.
But I also think there's got to be some kind of change with the venue.
Yeah.
There's got to be other reasons for people to want to go to the game. Maybe it's a store that sells UH gear. Maybe it's, I don't know, autograph on game day or something. It's just got to drive people to come. And unfortunately, Aloha Stadium has not kept up with the times.
Yeah.
And it doesn't offer multiple things for people to do. There's not like a cool bar you can order food there and just kind of lounge and meet people.
Exactly.
So it kind of takes away from the whole current football atmosphere.
Yeah.
And people are looking for ways of football and football games and bars.
Absolutely.
Really
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I think for me it's Aloha Stadium.
Okay, well, it's a
Yeah.
stadium. So we got the stadium. We got Stevie. The price of admission. Gene, what was your number one reason, Gene? Did you say?
Pay-per-view.
Pay-per-view. Okay. And then Candy said the state of the condition of the stadium, which probably includes the experience there. You talked a little bit about. So we'll say the experience as a stadium, because someone like Candy, who's a Niners season ticket holder, your Levi Stadium game day experience can be way different than your Aloha Stadium. And it's not like Levi Stadium is perfect. They have their issues. It's a traffic jam getting in and out of Levi. It's crazy. I've never gone to Levi's and not waited hours to get out. But it's worth it when you're going to something that you want to be at, and that's fun. And that's the thing. People will not complain if they have to come out and are enjoying something there. But Garrett, we're going to see what he says. What's his reason?
Okay, so I guess some of the similar issues that came up, but I think, and unfortunately, I didn't do athletic department, but the marketing is a little weak. I think right now, unless you listen to 1420, there's no other promotions out there trying to get people to come out to the games. Radio stations don't talk about even Twitter. You know, they try to have marketing theme nights for other sports. It doesn't work.
Yep.
You know, they have a whiteout. They call it a whiteout because they put it on Twitter, and a lot of the fan base, unfortunately, is not on Twitter.
Yep.
So I think I think the marketing department can try to do more, and even for the students on campus. I talked to a few students, and I guess there's nothing really on campus to promote the games for students to be out there. And I know Rolo tried to go to campus center and try to promote the sports, but I think more got to be done. Even on their radio stations, TV stations, they gotta try to promote football as much as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. That's a great answer. Honestly, that's one of my top answers, and I agree with all of the answers. They're all great answers, but even the product that's there already is not a bad product. We won 10 games in 2019, so most people last year they would say, "Oh, I know why nobody comes to the games. We don't win enough." Well, that happened this year. We won more than enough, really, 10 games. They deserve more people. They had more people. Our team had more fans in the stands for our 1-11 season, Chow's last game against Army that year, than we did for our San Diego divisional title game. 25% more people for that game when we were 0-11 going into that game. So this is to me this is where we have to rally the bell, the sirens, because this is can't every year see this decline and it's not catch up with you eventually. So I love all the answers and I totally agree with them. And we're gonna move on to the next one though, because we just had the NFL draft this past week. Cole McDonald, obviously our quarterback, was drafted in the 7th round, but he was the only one drafted. Only one person from UH. 2006, we had, I think, 6 people drafted. Yeah. So when we look at those sheer numbers, doesn't matter what round, whatever, is it important for our program? And we're going to start with Gene. How important is it to have draft picks for your program?
I think it's really important. It's a reflection on coaching and recruiting. You know, if you don't have the draft picks, that means you don't have the talent, or there's talent there, but the coaching isn't up to speed. I remember when June Jones came on, didn't he put in a few people in the NFL? There were holdovers from Mr. What Happened.
Yeah.
So, I mean, really, it's a reflection, I think, of coaching. Yes, you got to have draft picks. I think that a lot of local kids, or even anywhere around the country would want to come to a place where they'll have a chance to get drafted.
Yeah. So
I think it's important.
I totally agree. And that's one thing too. We don't realize a lot of recruits, even if it's the chances of going to NFL are very slim. I think everybody should have a dream. Everybody should be able to reach out and go for what they want. And players really, truly look at their chances of making the pros. And how they select a school. But Candy, what do you say? You're a big NFL fan. I know you. So is it important to have our bows in the pros?
I think it's huge. You have got to show to believe in your school, And you've got to show that, somebody's a high school junior or senior that's looking to go to college, wants to go someplace that they've got the most potential to get in. Kids are looking to get playing time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's no athlete that wants to sit on the bench. Every athlete is dreaming to get the winning, and most of these football players are looking to get to the next level.
That's right.
And if you don't see a team that's winning or getting players into the NFL, that's not what you're picking as your university. So it's huge for University of Hawaii to have people get drafted into the NFL because their money and their program is counting on it.
Well, we want some of that money too. We want it back, and we want to get some of our bros in the pros to look back on our program and open their pockets. We're so grateful for Marcus, who didn't even graduate from UH, and he sends all his kids to a game a year, and they bring such great atmosphere and great noise. So we need more of that. But, Garrett, what do you say, a big Cowboys fan? He had a good draft, too. The Cowboys did pretty well. But, is it important to have our Hawaii kids there?
I think it's important for recruiting, and it'll show the recruits, potential recruits, that they can be discovered in Hawaii, and they don't have to go to the big schools to be found. I guess that's the big thing for all the players. They want to be found, and if we can get 1 or 2 guys a year, then some of them fringe guys, instead of going to a big school and maybe sit on the bench, they might come to Hawaii and they might be able to play.
Exactly.
And I hope that happens. I hope we can keep that ball rolling with Cole. Started it this year, and we'll see how things go with new coach, Holly Graham.
That's right. That's a big thing Candy talked about. You want to go somewhere you can start, but we want to say, hey, you can come here, you can play right away, or you'll be in the mix right away, and we'll have a place for you. And Coach Jones obviously was really great at that, and even getting people drafted who didn't even come to him playing football sometimes, didn't even play a position, like Jake Ingram or somebody snapping for the Patriots. I mean, I knew Drake when he was in high school, and he wasn't talking about snapping in the NFL, but it's amazing when you have that kind of connection to the NFL, you can bring a lot of people in. But Stevie, what are you going to say, Stevie?
Well, this year was the first time that I sat through hours and hours of the draft. And I think, oh my God, another one from LSU. Another one from
I know.
LSU. So I was impressed with LSU. I mean, of course, they're one of my favorite college teams, which is why I noticed it was LSU. I want other fans across the world to say, like, wow, Hawaii.
Yeah.
Ooh, another one from Hawaii. You know? Yeah. So it's very important, and I agree with everything everyone here has said. Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like we want our school, just the pride there, just to say, like, oh man, like seeing Cole's name, seeing Hawaii next to his name was so cool. And I mean, think of the pride we had when Cole Brennan was sitting on the stage. Yeah, and Tavai going last year as well. But that is all a part of growing the tradition, growing the culture of University of Hawaii football, and that is so important. And it's also important to reincorporate some of those guys back into the program as well, whether it be financially, whether it be coaching. But we're going to move on to the next question. Or everybody got a chance. So we're going to go on to the last question. And I want you in detail. So we're going to start with Candy. And she likes to talk about stadiums. So I want to hear in detail what your new stadium for UH would be. It could be anything. It could be anywhere too. Could be anything in what it would look like, and give us a feel. If I'm like, Candy is a chief architect, what would her new stadium look like?
That'd be terrible if I was an architect. I would like to see something a little more modern. Preferably something maybe with the retractable dome.
Okay.
And some sustainability, like solar included in it. I'd like to see some kind of I want to say local establishments that are open on the ground floor.
I agree.
That could be fully purposed for
I agree.
when there aren't games being played.
I totally agree. That's something that needs to happen in Hawaii. Yep.
UH Museum and I don't know, a plus bookstore kind of
Or just having
atmosphere.
being able to go to buy UH gear, having our team store there for tourists to go to.
Right.
After they leave the Arizona
Right.
Memorial, go to the stadium, see where UH plays, buy some gear. I mean, the big part really
Right.
of building your program is through your apparel
Right.
too. And we had somebody, you're one of your
Yeah.
favorite singers, on stage wearing a UH baseball jersey in front of
Right.
thousands and millions around the world. So, I mean, it's
Right.
important to jump on those opportunities. So,
Yeah.
but Garrett, your perfect stadium, tell me what yours would look like.
Well, I would hope. I'm a tailgater, so I'm hoping that there's still going to be space for tailgating. Um, that's important in the pregame. I know there's others who want a like restaurants and bars nearby where
Mm-hmm.
they can pregame there. They're
Mm-hmm.
not into tailgating, but that's
Mm-hmm.
fine.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think they should have some box seats or suites
Yep.
available. The corporate dollars is the big key
It
for.
is.
And unfortunately now for UH football, there's no suites where corporate companies can spend a little extra money to take care of their clients. So hopefully there's some of that. I think for the students, I know they have the buses that bring them down to the stadium and take them back to campus.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they would rather have some place closer to campus where they can walk because
Mm-hmm.
I don't think a lot of them want
Yeah. Yeah.
to see it for the whole game, go back to campus. So I mean, I think the stadium in Halawa is a good location, but
Yeah.
if you want to get students there, you need
Of
to
course.
have it someplace closer.
All right, Stevie, your turn. In detail, let's hear it.
I had a brain fart just now. Okay, I know what. Um, Number one, I want the Hawaii side to be on the Makai side,
Okay.
so we get the shade.
Okay.
I would like to see a retractable dome, like
Mhm.
Candy said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, tailgating, like Garrett said.
Mm-hmm.
Um, ladies' room, I would like to have more ladies' rooms
Okay.
available
I like it.
with soap.
Okay, with enough
So
soap.
only
Specifically with enough
one
soap, yes.
soap dispenser, and you have to find it. So only us regulars, we know where the soap is.
Yeah. You hiding it from the people who only come a couple games a year. That's cold. That's cold. I mean, especially in these days where we gotta stay sanitary.
Yes.
No, I mean, and the thing about bathrooms, the thing that was kind of disheartening for me last year was seeing the paper talk about the state of certain bathrooms in the stadium.
Yeah.
During the week, we need people in the stadium. That's not the week that you talk about whatever plumbing in the stadium when we are about to play a championship game. So, of course, a big issue there is having the accommodations. We see it at stadiums across the country. Stadiums, I know, we got a Cowboys and a Niners fan, and that's two stadiums that I've gone to multiple games at, and sometimes, Dallas Stadium is so crowded in the concourse at halftime you can't even really get around, and it's like, how can we get those people in? Because Jerry Jones somehow gets hundreds of thousands of people in, charging even people sometimes $100 to stand in there on the very top. Not even can see that much, but that's a part of that's the package. That's the experience that he's selling in Jerry's role, and that's really the cool part of it. Is you're walking into somebody's imagination and what they see as a perfect venue for their game. So, Gene, if you are the lead architect, though, where are you gonna go? What are you gonna say you want in your stadium?
Well, I think I would model it after. I hate to say it. I really like Boise State's stadium. When I
Okay,
went to the
interesting.
game.
Okay, yeah. What do you like about their stadium specifically?
I really. It was small and it was I just kind of like the feel of it. I didn't like certain things with it, but something small, smaller scale and intimate. I think 35,000 to 40,000 is perfect. That way you can get the crowd in there, man.
Yep, and I think that's
'Cause it
true
gets
as well.
pretty loud. No, we didn't have too well of attendance, but I tell you what,
I agree.
there were some games that were pretty loud. If you kind of scrunch everybody in there,
Yep.
a little bit more intimate setting,
Mhm.
I think you can get like really loud.
Yeah.
He is more
I agree.
screens.
I agree.
Instead of just one big screen, I would put more screens.
Mhm.
I would leave one end of the stadium kind of open.
I like that idea. I
Have
had
a
the same
big
idea.
bar,
I had the
kind of
same
like
idea.
how Comerica
Yeah.
Field is, where
Yeah.
the Tigers play.
Yep, I've been to that park.
Just at one right over right center, I think, right center field. You have a big bar there, and people are just kind of like hanging out there watching the game. There's something over there. They can see the screen and everything. I think something like that will go over really well. And you constantly have a waitress there, kind of serving beer and stuff. I think that would be really, really good, and you can kind of tie that in to off season when there's no football.
Yeah.
That bar can be used.
Yeah.
Bar and restaurant can be used. You can have entertainment.
Absolutely.
Hey, maybe function can play there. Yeah, what do you think, Stevie? so my son is a props and functions best
Awesome.
fan on the island. My son, lead trumpet player for them.
Awesome.
But anyway, something like that. And I think another thing that I would really like to see is a better PA system, because I have no clue what those guys are saying.
Yeah.
That's really bad. And also Wi-Fi capability.
Absolutely.
Better Wi-Fi capability.
So Gene's talking about the modern.
And I'm on the internet trying to.
That's right.
I'm talking about modern, man.
Yeah.
And get rid of the stupid cones in the parking lot. And I honestly, because people are looking for these amenities,
Exactly.
where it just adds to the whole experience.
Yep.
I mean, you go to AT&T Stadium, man. Oh my gosh, man! Escalators all over the place. Comerica, you can't take 20 steps without running into a beer cart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I know.
So
And the thing
that's
is,
what I
when we in the new stadiums that are now dotting the globe, I mean, you don't need to make it really expensive. You can use like Candy talked about. We want sustainability. I gotta give her another point just for bringing up sustainability, because I'm a sucker for sustainability, and especially when we live on an island, wherein we can grow native species, plants. We can use the materials available to us. We can really truly make it a stadium that's reflective. So for me, I would love to see a stadium truly reflective of who we are as local people in Hawaii, our culture, and also including a lot of the great elements I've seen across the globe. It's suite spaces, on-field spaces. Chase Field, one of my favorite parks in Arizona, the Diamondbacks, they have a pool in right field. So I don't know if we want to go there, but I would love to see a swimming pool. But that's something that can attract. You all brought up making it a place, especially in Halava, the centralized location that it is, close to Pro Ridge, close to Arizona Memorial, making it a place that people can visit, not just on game day, but on a day when there's not game, and all that money can still go there. And we need to find ways that we can continue to grow the fan base. But that brings us to our last question, and I'm going to give Gene the first crack at this one. And you can't. The rule is for this one is that you can't repeat an answer. So Gene's lucky; he gets to get first grab. But you'll see what comes across the scene. This is just our number 5 answer, the tiebreaker, and it's a fun one. No prep for this one, but if you could save only one metal gold product, who is gonna stay? Who lives, Gene?
What? Say it again?
You can save
One metal gold product. Who
What
stays?
would it be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, next.
We're missing. Hey,
Just kidding.
there's clearly a right answer to this, and people in Hawaii have been going over this. So if you give me the right answer, you're gonna win this game. So come on, this is a pretty.
I say Pog.
Okay, Pog, good one. That's a good one. Pog is one of the best ones. But why Pog? Why Pog?
Because it's Pogs. You had those things.
Oh, Pog because of Pog. So Pog the juice because of
it's
Pog.
Yeah.
Okay,
Because
Pog
it's Pog,
because
and
of Pogs.
Weren't
Okay.
they the original people that invented this thing?
Uh-huh.
Pog.
Okay,
It was
that-
another gold thing.
It's a
And then
sound
everybody
argument.
kinda copied it, but it's Pog. Metal Gold coined the word Pog. It's like the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas will always be the Cowboys. They're not like Houston Oilers and going to the Titans.
Because of Gene's passion, he's gonna get another point for that one.
The Ravens. We're talking Pog. We're talking Pog here, man.
All right,
Pog.
well,
All right.
Candy, you Pog is taken. So what do you say, Candy?
Of course he took it. Of course he took it.
Hey, you can claim something else though.
Well,
It's
for
a
me,
long
then,
tradition.
I guess I'm gonna have to pick something else. Metal gold would be. I'm gonna say the frozen vanilla popsicles.
Okay. All right.
I don't know what else other than milk.
Oh, I bring on 4 people who have been weaned off of the metal gold tradition on the island, and no one yet has stuck out for the one thing. But Garrett, we're gonna give you a chance. Garrett, what is it?
I think the ice cream sandwiches.
Okay, that's a good one.
Oh, that's a good one.
This is Dara's freezer.
Yes. Oh, just for that. That's another point up.
So, anyway.
Stevie, pick anything, Stevie.
But we're gonna come down to Stevie if she can choose. So we're talking about metal gold, so that includes loves obviously as well. So I'm helping Stevie out. But Stevie, if you can tell me the right answer, Stevie, I'm gonna let you win this game because I have something that I never want to see gone forever, and Pog is number 2. But what is number 1, Stevie? Come on, read my mind, Stevie.
Lonnie Moo.
My loves.
Lonnie Moo herself?
Lonnie Moo.
No, my
My
loves. My
I'm
loves
giving you
delivery.
points. I'm going backwards, Stevie. Come on, you're getting colder. Get warmer, Stevie. Get warmer,
Loves
Stevie.
Donut.
You
just
eat it.
went. Loves Bakery. You just went.
Donuts.
Yeah. Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. It's the donuts, Stevie. It's always the donuts. Come on.
It's the donuts.
But you know what? It took you a while to get there, so we're gonna have to give it to Garrett. Garrett's gonna get our last word. Garrett, what are you gonna talk about, Garrett? Share it, Garrett.
I think I mentioned earlier, part of the core on the board, so please support the football team. A lot of the money is spent on summer school.
Mm-hmm.
We pay for a lot of summer school to help the players stay on campus in the summer, help them train with the team, practice with each other, and also money is spent for food, extra nutrition for the team. So if anybody out there wants to be a NACOA member, please do so. Support the team, and thank you very much.
Mahalo. All right, so support NACOA for our Garrett Ichimura, Stevie Kiyosaki, Gene Salibio, and Candy Costorio, our all ILH panel. We forgot to mention, right? We got UH Lab in the house. We got Sacred Hearts in the house. We got Marinol. We got Damien, the Monarchs, and of course Imua. That's going to be the last word that we're going to say as we go out today. Happy birthday, Grandma. Happy birthday. We'll see you next week, guys. See you next week.